Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Brian with. Wait, let's try this one more time. Cut. Okay, again. Good morning, ladies and Brian. Okay, cut. Times 3. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Connecting Communities with Brian J. and Laura Lee. Woo!
Good morning.
I just got a head rush.
Hump day.
I need to learn how to breathe. Well, because the Laura Lee, there's like that one long breath, and I did it, and I think I kept that breath through the 3 takes we did. I got lightheaded. I need oxygen.
Ooh, deep breathing now. Deep breathing.
Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
How are you? Explore Toledo.
I know. So, today is St. Patrick's Day. So I had to get out, something green. Being mostly Irish, I had to do at least that. So
you should have a green streak in the hair. The green and
I
purple.
do. My next color that I have is like a turquoise. So I was thinking about it, but that would have been, that required more planning than I have the brain capacity for at the moment.
So I'm going to be honest. I love turquoise. Let me tell you that, right? But adult Laura, I know it's purple hair.
I know. I like the purple. The purple. I've had the turquoise for a couple of months, and just like every time I go to redo my hair, I'm like, I like the purple still.
Yeah. Well, I like the purple when it first comes in, when it's vibrant, even down to like the gray purple. I think the best person that rocks that is it Kelly Osbourne? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, she is. I love her gray. Like that is really what I would love to do.
Yeah. Well, you look just like her. I mean.
Okay.
Speaking of looking like her, which one of your siblings is a model?
Oh yeah. So my little sister, she's technically my stepsister, but we've all been a family for so long now. She's my little sister. Yeah, she is 4 years younger than I am. She has lived in New York City since she was 17.
Oh, she left early. Good for her.
Yeah. She's so she's been a model and has lived in New York and did work in Chicago and has done work in Europe. And is, now that, she's older and modeling is, for a younger girl's game, but so she does still do some catalog stuff, but she's doing a lot of the like producing and the behind the scenes work now.
Nice.
So it's
catalog work is good. Okay, you can make some bake on some catalog. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So she's actually right now doing a shoot in LA for I think it's Lancome that she's doing. So she's I'm super proud of her. She's I'm not gonna lie, I'm 4 years older than she is. So she was 17, I was 21 when she moved to New York, and I sit here, I was like, nope, this is bad. I can't believe our parents are letting her do this, go out by herself. Like that she needs to go to school, she needs to do this, and she's done awesome and has found a way to obviously doing that kind of work. You got to be a hustler, because it is not it's not a 9 to 5, it's not a guaranteed. So I've just been really proud watching her hustle and do her thing over the
entrepreneurship per se.
Yeah, because I do not have that gene. I am just not good at that. So I'm always impressed with people. I'm always impressed with people who do have that hustle. And so that's, And so, I was just like bored over the weekend and going through boxes of pictures and found a bunch of old pictures and found that picture of my brother on the train in San Francisco, just looking all modelly and fabulous.
I thought it was a hilarious picture.
Post him up too. That picture is so 90s. He's got like this mock turtleneck sweatshirt that has embroidered dogs on it, and like these very high-waisted many button jeans, and just these fantastic round very reflective sunglasses. It's a look. It is a look.
Listen, the look I sported, I remember being in 7th grade, And every Saturday, or like the first Saturday of the month, they had like the teen dance, right?
Yeah.
So I had just moved there. I hadn't went to the dance yet because I was still new. So here I go, 12 years old. Okay. Looking good. Okay. We're talking
Oh yeah.
1989.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I look
Mhm.
so good because I thought, I could wear my dad's clothes at that point in time. We he had
Oh no.
Do you remember Miami Vice?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
had the white pants with the
Oh my
white jacket.
God. Yeah.
Yes. And the
Ooh.
turquoise shirt. But no,
Okay.
I didn't wear it with a turquoise shirt. It was fall. It was cold. I wore it with my turtleneck.
Oh yes. You gotta upgrade that look. Upgrade
The
for the
necklace.
yeah. I was gonna say yes, you had to have like his gold rope chain or something with that for sure. Oh my gosh. How
I remember.
fly did you look? How fly did you look?
Listen, even better. I remember walking down Little Creek Avenue, all dressed up, going to my dance.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it.
I got beat
I
up.
love it.
I never made it to the dance.
See, whatever. They were just jealous for
Right?
sure. So
Oh,
jealous.
oh, that poor kid. Like, I just look back at that poor kid.
I know.
Because I was a kid in the 80s with the really short shorts that are coming back, let me tell
Yep.
you. And then I was a teenager in the 90s.
I know. That's like, and that's what's so wild about this the fashion right now. It's just like, I just want to be like, listen, I know Gen Z, you guys weren't here, but like, there's pictures. No, nobody looked okay. Nobody looked okay. And you want to emulate that? Like, what's
I love
happening
the hair,
here?
right? The girl's big hair.
Oh,
It's just
oh my
like,
gosh, the hair with the frosted tips. Let me tell you, that was my mom. My mom had her big hair
I
with her
had frosted
frosted
tips on
tips.
my wedding day.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay. Okay.
Welcome to my life today.
Yes.
Here we are.
Listen, no, you were just stylish, okay? You
Just
were
trying to be in
just,
sync.
you
Okay.
were
Bye, bye,
literally,
bye.
yeah,
Okay.
literally in sync with the trends and in sync.
Oh my God. I mean, I think we talked about this before about how our ankles would be so tight, the blood wouldn't rush between the ankle and the calf because we
Yeah.
would peg our pants.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, bell bottoms are the best. You don't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? Or sorry,
Well,
bootleg.
the fit and flare, that's what's coming back too, is
Yeah.
that the fit and flare. Although I did see a TikTok where one of the younger like Gen Z is like she's like said something about if you're a millennial or older, like keep scrolling, blah 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 blah. She's like, okay, are they gone now? She's like, I know that we're bullying them about the fit and flare jeans, but she goes, what the hell shoes are we supposed to wear now? And I was like, see, if you would talk to your fashion elders, we could have told you these problems.
Right.
We could have told you these problems. You're going to be
Totally.
stepping on the back of your jeans now, and they're going to get all frayed up. And then and then if it's the least bit wet out, your puddle, there's going to be bottom of your jeans are going to be all wet. See, we could have told you and saved you these things. But
Right.
no, you just want to bully us about our skinny jeans.
Right. True story. And I would tell them now, start fundraising and freshman year for your senior trip. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Get
Yeah.
that money, honey, because you cannot
Right.
wait until your senior year to try to get all that money.
Exactly. That's a really good.
Fundraise.
That's a really good idea, actually. We should definitely sell that speech
Like
to
a package,
school.
a
Yeah,
subscription
exactly.
service.
Yeah.
Donate for the senior trip.
Yeah, don't wear fit and flare pants and start fundraising when you're a freshman for your senior trip.
Right. I mean, you just don't realize what that is. And
Yeah.
I think as a society, we are ridiculous that we have these seniors that are first off, let me just tell you, I don't think any 16-year-old should be driving. I don't think they're responsible enough.
Right.
I looking at it now as an adult. sucks to be you. I'm over 816.
Yeah.
I truly believe that there's no reason for that. Not because of just them, but because of other people, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
as a 16-year-old, you just don't know what happens if they do, you just don't know. And I
Well,
just
and
don't think it's that.
it's the feeling of an invincibility that comes, that you just have at that age. So you're willing to take risks that, are not, that are, on the wrong side of too risky. And,
Right.
and so that's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, kids are interesting though. I don't know if how much you've been paying attention to the news, but there was a hazing incident at BGSU, which resulted in a student dying. That happened at the beginning of the month, and I'm an
The hazing,
advisor.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an advisor for the sorority that I was a part of, that but at BG. So we've been working with the kids on that, and it's just like, we really try to let them handle their chapter operations as much, because it's their, it's their experience, it's their party. I don't, it's we're not here to tell them what to do. But I just, I had to tell our group of advisors last night, I'm like, listen, these kids are having too much rope. They're hanging themselves right now, trying to come up, trying to lead 70 other girls on how to properly grieve a trauma. And, these kids are 18, 19, 20 years old. Their prefrontal cortexes are still developing. They don't know how to deal with this stuff.
They have no
So, and it's
concept of the world or how to make decisions.
exactly. And so, like, that's the same, it's the same thing with, kids when, when they're driving and when they get in trouble doing, X, Y, or Z. It's like the concept of the world is so different. And we just, as we get older, we forget that, I think. And, hold kids to a standard of activity that we expect, in a level of reason that we expect adults to understand. But, their brains are still developing, so they can't always, be as rational as we expect them to be.
I'm with you. I think I've said this before, but I stand in a very big parenting soapbox. To me, parenting is very black or white when it comes to common sense things, right? Um, and saying that, I'm also a firm believer that, what did you say? I got distracted. I looked over at Jackson Robert and
But
actually got excited and felt the love.
yeah, their
There it
brains are
is.
still.
No, I tell them all the time. First off, I apologize when I'm wrong, right? So when
Yeah.
I make a mistake, if I don't have enough patience that day, right, or I corrected him and misunderstood something, I have no problem with apologizing, because I want to make sure he understands that, first off, just because he's 18 doesn't mean he has all the answers, and that
Right.
he's an adult now. So go live your life, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm 43, almost 44 years old. Guess what? I still have no concept sometimes, right? So
Right.
I've got to make sure I remember that with him as well. And I try to explain and let him see that just because I'm an adult doesn't mean that I stop making choices, right? Or that I don't
Mm-hmm.
make good choices. I make bad choices. I just made one for 4 months. Okay. Life lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's super important that we as parents, we as facilitators, we as advisors, especially when we're dealing with the youth, make them realize that they're not going to have all the answers when they're 16 and they're behind a wheel, or when they're 18 and they're on their own. I mean, I was counting down the days to leave my house. That's how
Yeah.
toxic it was. And
Oh
looking back
yeah.
now, it would break my heart if my son was counting the days down for him to leave me.
Mm-hmm. For
That's
sure.
not a healthy relationship, right?
Mm-mm.
And
No.
what I wanted just to go, right? And and
Yeah.
and why couldn't I have that same freedom within boundaries, right? And a healthy family environment? You can.
Yeah.
Surprise. So it just it's funny, and we're gonna have him on later, ladies and gentlemen. You'll get to see the face to the name of my other half, and we have top 9 questions to ask your kid. Now, this isn't the "how much does your dad love me" things. These are life questions that you can kind of see, and it will probably dictate what kind of parent I am. So I guess we'll figure that out. Welcome. What's been going on with you this week? I feel like, we had a little bit of hiccup last week. We both reached out and said, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm not fine. Yeah, both of us. So we didn't end up chatting last week. So what's been going on for 2 weeks?
Yeah, so you're right. There was just something about last Wednesday. I just needed, I took a little mental health day and, just sort of relaxed. I got a bike, which is something that I wanted to get last summer, but they were
Bike. I thought you said you got into a fight.
Oh no, not a fight,
Like,
a bike,
Jesus.
a bicycle.
Nice.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
went in
Well,
with
they went
last
out of
summer.
line, or they went offline last year because everyone had
Well,
bought one.
exactly. Yeah. So it had been warm for a few days the last couple of weeks. So I was like, you know what? I bet everybody's gonna want a bike again this summer. So I ran and got a bike, and I ordered the last two items that I couldn't order last year to make my backyard a little oasis. I got myself a little fire pit and
Nice.
a nice umbrella, which were two things again you couldn't find anywhere last year because everybody else was doing their patios too.
Right.
So yeah, just taking a little break, taking a little time to take care of myself and get the house finished, getting everything. It'll be on April 16th, and just like a month from now, it'll be a year since I moved into my house and have
Oh, so it was a month after the lockdown.
yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. So well, because I told my ex-husband 2 days before Valentine's Day that I wanted to get divorced. And so then which we were by this point have our relationship was better. We were able to talk, and
Yeah.
it wasn't
The conversation already been laid. It wasn't, hey, can you pass the strawberries? Happy Valentine's Day. Wait.
yeah, exactly, right,
Yeah.
right. So then yeah, and then the few weeks after I told him that is when the news about the coronavirus started coming, ramping up. And then once they hit, once were put in quarantines, I was like, I am not quarantining for an indefinite amount of time with someone I'm divorcing, so I'm moving. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I bought, I bought the house, and I've been here. Yeah, it'll be a year next month, and I'm super excited. I've been, obviously the year of the anniversary of the pandemic was last week. It was March 11th is when the World Health Organization officially called it a pandemic. So I've just been thinking a lot about the last year and like reflecting on how much has changed and how much was really, 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 really hard and crappy, but like how awesome I feel right now, having come through all that stuff. So yeah, I've just been sort of reflecting a lot the last few weeks. What have you been up to?
Yeah, me too. Really focusing on where this year's taken me, right? My business has completely changed.
Yeah.
And it's funny that, I announced yesterday that we have a new event that we'll be adding to our calendar monthly, which will really again go back to the heart of why we started connecting communities. That's not true. Why we started connecting connections at the end of the day is really to be able to teach, right? And to
Yeah.
be that resource. So it really kind of has come, full circle in this last year to where I was last year and to where I am this year. I look back, I think we all go, were we happy? Did we have money? Did we have work? Did we have love? Did we have our friends and family? And, a lot of mine have been checked, right? Some has been checked and then erased.
Mhm.
It's life, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be able to put it up, get up, and keep on going. But I'm blessed, right? I'm fortunate. I'd like to say that I'd like to be a little bit more humble in what I've accomplished this last year, but sadly, my cockiness and confidence overrides that humbleness at times.
You're
But
allowed
I
to
am
be proud
appreciative.
of your
Yeah. Well, you can be
accomplishments
proud,
too.
right? But sometimes I'm a little too
Yeah.
cocky. So
Okay.
it was, yeah. I went to a meeting yesterday. I just am getting back into networking. And in this last year, I transferred my business from local to nationwide. Well, over the last 30, 60 days, I've really taken a look at my client list to go, I have no one local. Like I do, but very few.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So I'm like, oh, I gotta do something. I realized I wasn't getting out. So I ended up joining a chamber and ended up going to a coffee connection. And I sat back. Laura, you'd have been so proud of me. I just sat back and listened. Right? I just
am
listened. I know.
proud.
And I knew a lot of the people, which was kind of nice, but they really hadn't seen, Brian 5.0. I know we're on 5.0, right? So that's okay. We're still growing. It's a 5.0. So Brian 5.0. So it was kind of nice, and I'm hoping to kind of start rekindling some of those conversations and relationships and really get back into the community as strong as I was prior to COVID. So that's my goal. We'll see if that happens. But with that, I wouldn't be able to do what we do now without our sponsors and the people that are out in the community, right, at the end of the day. So we do have some great sponsors, great local sponsors at that, right? So we have Kristen, as well as Slack, Slav, and that is with Dance Fam Studio. They are in Monclova as well as Cleveland. Great concept where they're really doing the acting and other dance classes and so forth virtually. So you can do it online in your home as well as in the studios. We also have a couple other great sponsors that we want to make sure we mention, like Matthew Firth with the Contact Farmer, right? So that's super important. I love his conversation when he had with us about being a hug and a card, right? Which is pretty phenomenal in doing that. We also have Apollo, of course, who takes care of app development. Now, if you've signed on to our app, you could hear us on the app, Connecting Connections. So you can hear Connecting Communities there as well. They did my app. They can handle yours. And we also have the Bookkeeping Landlord. Now, they Shelly, handles bookkeeping for a lot of different industries, but her niche is real estate. So that is definitely her hot spot there. And then last but not least, you have Stratus Building Solutions, where they can come in and take care of those tasks in your commercial buildings that you just really don't want to. So because of those sponsors, we are very appreciative and get to hang out and talk the way we want to talk and promote what we want to promote and get on our soapboxes. So we appreciate our sponsors for allowing us to have an opinion.
Your sponsors.
Mr. Roush, are you ready to come to our segment?
Yes, sir.
He's about to come. He's closing down breakfast. Yeah.
What was that? What was for breakfast?
Well, we had Cheerio cereals today.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Gotta love a good Cheerio.
I love a good Cheerio as well. Okay, you coming over? Okay, so ladies, he does not want to come on camera. They haven't seen your face. Can they see your face?
No. Why are you saying ladies and gentlemen? There's one other person there.
Well, that is because people are going to be, say welcome. Lady, because people are going to be watching. So that's the point, is people are watching us, right? Okay, so he does not want to be on camera. Okay, well, can we just get a quick side-by-side, like just hi? There you go. Okay, there's Mr. Roush. Okay, so let's get these questions. You're going to want to speak a little clearer, right? Just so they can hear you. Okay, question number 1. You ready, Laura?
I'm super ready.
Okay. Jackson Robert, what do you know how to do that you can teach others? You want to step up a little bit so they can hear you speak?
Huh?
Do you want to step up so they can hear you speak?
I don't understand the question.
What skill do you have that you're able to teach to someone else?
Playing basketball. I've had 3 people at my school.
Okay. Good. You want to speak
Basketball.
up though, just so they can hear you?
Basketball.
They can't see you. You can speak up.
What?
Okay.
Jackson? What position do you play? Do you play like point guard or center? Those are the only positions I know.
I don't totally know the positions, and also my coach didn't really actually assign positions.
Oh, okay. I thought he was about to throw the coach under the bus.
Do you want me to?
No, we're good. Question number 2.
What's the coach's last name?
If you could be a sound, what would it be?
It's a very existential question.
Right?
That's
It's okay.
Rocco's bark.
Rocco's bark. Okay, he would be Rocco's bark. What is the funniest thing that's ever happened to you?
Last night when Rocco growled at you when I was sleeping.
Fair enough. What do you think your life will be like in the future?
Playing video games and watch sports.
Playing video
I'm
games.
an answer
and
of a
watching
10-year-old.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to you?
Getting animals.
Getting
I'm
animals.
obsessed with animals.
Aw.
Okay. Who is your best friend and why?
You can have more than one.
He can't pick. That's what he just said.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Give me your crew. Who's your crew?
Parker, Barrett, Ahmed, Sawyer. Forgetting someone. Oh yeah, you and Rocco.
Aw, I'm part of his best friend crew.
Aw.
Why?
Wait, but why? Why are they? Why are they?
Why are they best? Why are they your best friends?
Because they're basically my only friends.
Okay.
Works
There
out.
you go. Here's one. If you could choose a new name for yourself, what would it be?
Jackson with an X instead of CK.
Jackson with an X instead of a CK. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a reason why we didn't do that. Because listen, well, now you probably would. But if you'd have went to Cedar Point in the 90s, you'd have never gotten that name. So they would have never been a keychain or a water bottle, right?
It's true.
So what is the coolest thing you saw someone do?
Probably you trained this weird dog that can't control himself.
Me training the dog that can't control himself. Fair enough. Last question. How would you change the world if you could?
I would get more dogs so that dogs aren't in shelters since I love dogs.
He would get more dogs so they were not in shelters. Cool. Fist bump.
That's perfect. Everybody loves a rescue dog. Everybody loves a dog to snuggle and pet their little heads and play with their little ears.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Roush. We appreciate your time and energy today.
I definitely tried to convince my old firm to let us have like doggy Fridays so that we could all bring in like our dogs and everybody have a visit. But my one boss doesn't like dogs, and like I'm super suspect of anybody that doesn't like dogs.
Yeah, they're just not good people at that point in time.
I mean, I don't think they have a soul, so it's fine.
Right.
Like, it's fine if you prefer a cat, but you can't say you dislike
don't
a dog.
like dogs.
Yeah, dogs love everybody. How are you gonna dislike a dog?
My dog don't like you.
Exactly.
Have you been in a situation recently, Laura, where either it's like a friend group, like you're friends with like 4 of the girls or 4 of the people in the group, and there's one person in the group that you're just not friends with, although the other ones are, or even a work colleague that you have to sit across from, or they always pair you up with, that you just are annoyed with?
Oh, absolutely. That, I feel like that happens in my life frequently. And that's one of those things about having, and this is, I take it as a compliment, because it's like, that's one of those things about having like a bigger personality or being like a natural leader or someone that people just tend to gravitate to, which it sounds like I'm calling myself all of those things and like I'm weirdly bragging, but I'm not.
Do it.
I just like,
you are 28. You can do it.
It's also just like, I'm loud is what it is. That's what it is. So like people always end up, I just take it as a compliment that like, people want to be around me and try to find the positive side in people too. But it does definitely get hard, especially like, when you are in, it is especially hard when you're in group situations and there's like an uneven number of people. So like trying to like divvy up how the small conversations happen. And it's like, I always end up getting stuck in the conversation with like the person who's slightly off. But I think that's just because I'll talk to anybody anytime about anything.
Right. And I'm always with the person that's the shy introvert that I have to literally drag information. I'm like, hey, how's your day? Good. What'd you do today?
Right.
Worked. Okay. What's your favorite
Right.
color? Blue. Okay.
Oh,
You know,
cool.
like, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, and see, but you're the same way. You've got a naturally like effervescent leading
Aw.
personality. So, I think that that's why when you get, when there's groups divvied up, or even when it's just like natural, something that naturally happens, I definitely feel like they always find the people who are like the most, the biggest personality wise, and
For
get,
sure.
and match them up with the people who maybe don't have that
Well, I
strength.
think during this pandemic, and you and I have talked about this, people forgot about folks, us extroverts, right?
Oh my
That,
gosh.
the introverts live in the dream. You know what I mean? Like, keep me in the house, don't have me see people. Okay. But us extroverts, this has been a transition year. And I'm not even talking
Yeah.
about the personal crap that's happened, just on the business aspect and not being able to physically touch anyone, right? Not to be able to
Right.
see the smile. I
Yeah.
operate off of body language. Thank God I look at eyes and I'm an eye contact person. So
Hmm.
I don't care what you say out there, you can see people's joy in their eyes. Okay. If
Absolutely.
anything, it is, isn't it like when one sense goes, other ones pick up, right?
Right.
Am I, yeah?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Usually that's what it is that there's an overcompensation. And I'm definitely a type of person that when I'm out walking, if I'm like, in the grocery store, or even just out walking anywhere or doing whatever, like I try to make eye contact with people and smile at them when we pass, just because I know that like something just that little can make people, have a better day of like, oh, just some random person smiled at me.
right?
So like that's what's been really hard about this is like obviously we have our masks on, so it's like, oh, I'm perfecting the smiles for sure. It's like
Right. Tyra is banking money right now. She's
she
like,
is.
I told you this in the
Yes.
90s. You
We're
didn't listen to
all
me.
we're all learning how to emote with like half of our faces now for
Right?
sure. Yeah.
I
So
I
I have a
expected,
secret for you.
are you gonna give me the model face where you
No,
the body,
I
have
say,
you seen that TikTok where they're like,
oh
what's
my
your
gosh.
model face?
Oh.
Smile, eyes up, and then drop the smile. That's your
Oh,
model
is
face.
that's your model face?
Yeah,
Mine will be like
yeah.
no, I was gonna
Okay,
say
what's your secret?
I have a secret to tell you.
Okay, I'm listening.
I got a vaccine shot already.
How did you get that?
Cause I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter and a gatherer, and there's the Rite Aid right by my house. Gives is a shot administered. So I was just like
Okay.
going at the end towards. I know that they did it at until a certain hour every day. So like in the last half hour of the day, I would just go or call and be like, "Hey, you got any leftovers? Got any
Yeah, she goes,
leftovers?"
oh my God. She's like, got any leftovers?
It totally felt like such an illicit drug deal, but like,
Like,
hey,
Laura, is this you,
I
Laura?
know, right? Yeah, yeah.
We told
But
you we'd send you a text.
right. But hey, I don't know if I've talked about it on this podcast, but I know I talked about it on my podcast, Toledo Talks. I spent a week in the mental ward last last year at the beginning of the pandemic because I got too isolated for too long. And, just I'm the type of person that I can't go that long without having, contact and being around people. So, um, I figure it helped a shot not go to waste, which is, the most important. And it's helping my mental health. Just, I cried, not because it hurt, but the relief of feeling. And then Governor DeWine announced yesterday that vaccines are going to be available for everybody 18 and up starting on the 29th. So that's just in 12 days. So,
Yeah.
I feel marginally less guilty now since he said that they're going to open it up by the end of the month. But
Do you
yeah,
think by May we'll be evened out?
I think that there's going to be at the beginning, so like there's going to be a mad rush at the beginning of the open window, I think, where you're still going to have a vaccine supply to demand problem. But because the Johnson and Johnson is only one shot, and because they have one of their competitors, Merck, is actually helping them produce their vaccine. So you're just going to have so much more, especially at the Johnson and Johnson shot coming out, that they're really predicting that you're going to have more vaccine than you are going to have people that are willing to get vaccinated at some point this summer. They just don't know exactly where that tipping point is going to be. And another tip that people have told me that I've heard, depending on where you live, is that if you are in like one of the areas that is more conservative or like voted for the former president at a higher rate, those areas are not going through their vaccines as quickly. There is statistical evidence showing that Trump voting Republicans are not getting the vaccine at like, up to like a rate of like 70% of them. So I've heard that other friends doing that, going to like some of the Trumpier areas of the state or suburbs and just like calling pharmacies there and seeing if they have appointments. So, I definitely, it's like a lot of people, because we're in Toledo, we're in a blue county, we're in, a populated area. So we have more people in this area that want to get vaccinated. But maybe if you drive 45 minutes down to Findlay in Hancock County, which was, a pretty deep red place, maybe it's not so much. So I think it's going to be all, evening it out of who wants to get what where. But I'm really
I agree with that.
President Biden did say that he expects people to have small gatherings by the 4th of July. So,
well, I mean, event centers are already opening up. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, I really think, especially at the end of the summer, life will be able to look a little more, we're still going to have to wear our masks. But I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem wearing the mask.
Well, we've been doing it for a year now.
Right. And as long as we can like go out and do things with each other, I just like, man, this is my second. See, I'm mostly Irish. St. Patrick's Day is my day. Okay. Like I am not afraid to admit that this is usually a day that I take a half day off of work and I have a jigs dinner by noon, and I'm drinking green beer for the rest of the day. And
right,
because I'm old, that usually means I'm in bed by 7 and and then hungover for 3 days. But still, this is a fun, one of the very fun days of the year that is planned out with me and my girlfriend. So missing it 2 years in a row is it's breaking my heart.
Yeah, we did it business-wise, where we'd go downtown and hang out and bar hop. And it was not that it was a business event. I'm not saying it was, but it was a good time to be able to wind down, breathe. You still network, right? At the end of the day, I still met people that I might not have met, right? Because people were just a little bit more friendly that day.
Exactly.
And other business people are downtown as well.
It's funny. I got picked up dinner from the Blarney recently. During restaurant week. And, they had the Blarney downtown they're all decorated up for St. Patrick's Day. And they have these signs, just like the little decoration signs that people have, like that you would see in like classrooms or whatever, but they had leprechauns with masks on. And then they had one sign that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish and vaccinated."
You said that. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, did I tell you guys that already? It was, I was like dying laughing. I was like, so that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the Blarney, they do kegs and eggs. Usually,
right.
You can be there.
Listen, Jackson Roberts wearing his St. Patrick's Day shirt.
I was gonna say I wish I could come in. It's green, so it
is green, so it's going off of the green screen. You can't see it.
No.
I was gonna ask why you weren't wearing any green today, but then that's right. You would fade back in.
Right.
You would
No,
fade
totally.
back into your background.
Yeah. We're having a school day today. So
Is
yeah,
it
so
is he on hybrid?
he no. He got exposed, so he was in quarantine.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so we're in day like 13. What is today?
So the end.
Yeah, he goes back to school Tuesday.
Gotcha. No, today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. So, yeah, he goes back to school tomorrow.
Gotcha. First, as soon as they get back, he gets an exposure. Oh man.
Yeah. Right. I know, because Sylvania went to 4 days. Next week they expand to 5. Oh, there's Rocco. That would be Rocco. Great.
He wants me to play with him, but I'm not listening.
There you go. Hi, buddy. Oh, he does want to play. Yeah, he's a beast. So yeah, next week they start 5 days, and which, I mean, they're on 4 right now, so it's not going to be that big of a difference, right? He's going to feel it because now he has to go to school on Fridays.
Yeah. But, Friday is the day they've been having long weekends. Oh man.
Well, they were doing 2 days in, 2 days out. I mean, the whole year, and then Fridays were off, and then in January, when we came back from winter, we went to 4 days, Monday to Friday, and now we're going ahead of it. Yeah, they have been. I felt really bad too, because when this all started, unfortunately, the superintendent was super new, right?
That's what I heard. Yeah, this year
super new, and I feel like
last year was a different one.
It was. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to be open and honest here. As a parent, right, I can say this and I can judge, so we could have this conversation and I'll tackle you parents out there. At the end of the day, no one knew what was happening, so there was no wrong or right decision. Done. So it didn't matter what decision was made. Nobody knew anything, okay?
Yeah.
However, in saying that, they had a plan out, and unfortunately, the plan that was in, when she came in, she didn't, I don't know the details. The assumption is that she didn't dive in and investigate deeply like she should have. She relied on her staff or her delegates in those certain situations and went off of theirs. Listen, we've all stepped into a position, a leadership position, and had no concept what's been going on the first week, and have just said yes because Bob brought it to you and they've been doing this way. Right. So I'm just going to continue doing it until I figure out what it is that we need to change. So, I mean, she hadn't even been there a week, and she had to change things around because she had walked into the buildings and realized that they were no way ready for what was to be happening. And
that's what I recall hearing about that, is that they had a different superintendent at the end of the year. They had no leadership all summer, and she got hired like 3 weeks before school started.
Yep.
So yeah,
so I feel like she got thrown under the bus.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
For sure.
Now, in saying that, I just, again, I don't think any decision that can be made during that first week is going to be wrong or right. You're just trying to figure out what you're doing and surviving at that point.
For sure.
So yeah, unfortunately, she just got a big thing. But here we are going to day 5. And they start testing. They're going to do testing this year.
I know that's what drives me nuts. Like they waived the standardized test last year. They need to do that again this year. Like I know it sucks, and I know it's terrible for data collection and how we assess the kids.
It's
and
false
really
information. You're getting junk info. Because you know why? Because you had parents out there that have no desire to have the importance of education. Yes, I'm saying this out there right now. You have parents out there that do not value education. So when this happened, it was a free day for them. Their kid never did work. They never showed up online to a Zoom meeting for whatever reason. 1, because it wasn't important. 2, because they were at work and they couldn't parent their child. Right? For whatever the situation is, their kid was not in front of that computer. Unacceptable. There's no reason. There's no, again, this is where I'm judgmental, and you guys can come after me because I'll okay, that's what I gotta say about that. because it's very black and white. When you are a parent, that is your responsibility.
Right.
I understand it sucks. And I understand that not everyone has the flexibility that I have as an entrepreneur where I can maneuver around and so forth. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, we are 1 year into it. You cannot still be complaining about your kid being at home and school going on.
Yeah.
You had 12 months.
And yeah, it's just shown that all sorts of studies, have shown that throughout this, when you do have situations where people have to make a choice between working and parenting and homeschooling, is that if it's a 2-parent household, the woman unfortunately is the one that is most likely to ask to be, to step down for her job and take over, the educating of the family, of the kids. So this past year has been a rough one. And those standardized tests are crap measurements to begin with, in the quote unquote best of times. And so to put this pressure on these kids during the pandemic is just absolutely bananas. Agreed. And they shouldn't. I agree with you. I don't think that they should be doing it. And someday they're going to put me in charge and I get to make these decisions.
And I'm going to say, listen, ladies and gentlemen, first off, Laura, let me make sure that you know that I will go back through all of these and scrub every video. I got you. Number one. Okay.
See, but
there will be no evidence of anything that you have said.
I'm good on this one. I behave when I'm on this podcast. That's not the problem.
I will handle your social media. We will PR you. Just let you guys know, she said it here first. In about 12 years, you will see the change. Okay?
Exactly.
Be the legacy you want. Oh, Laura, the legacy Lee. I see it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're so funny.
Good times. Well, listen, we're about that time to close down. We could talk for hours. We need to have like a 5-hour show.
I know,
like maybe
right?
Mud Hen Day. Oh, maybe Mud Hens Day we go live. Oh. Where were you the other day? And I was like, Laura, you should go live. You went somewhere. I saw it on Facebook. Where were you?
Oh, where did I go?
Did you go to a store?
Maybe.
It was like a big deal thing. I gotta go back. Yeah. I'm gonna go back on your Facebook now and figure out where you were. Because I really thought, oh my God, she should do a Facebook Live.
I'm really trying, because the problem with the pandemic and working from home is I really only leave my house like once a week. So I'm like, where did I go last week?
Toledo Zoo.
Yeah, I know. Yep. That's, it's nice at the zoo to just walk around. It's just a nice place to walk around. And I bought a membership last year and I renewed it this year to help the zoo while they were shut down during all that time last year. So
I get a zoo membership every year. Typically in April, I buy it at one of a fundraiser events. So the zoo donates to them and then we bid on it, and I cheat. And instead of doing the I do. Instead of doing those low increment things, I'm like, I'm buying it, and I just go to the max price, because typically people are gonna pay more, right? Because the zoo membership is typically $110. If you renew early, it's $90. So they go to $100, and I just go $100 on the first thing, because no one will go over, and then I win it. Yeah. So then I'm like, I'm gonna buy one anyway. I might as well have it go to a good cause.
Exactly. For sure.
Yeah. So I cheat a little bit. But I love the zoo. I was actually thinking about going there this weekend because I got nothing going on Friday or Saturday.
I think it's supposed to be really nice too. Like Saturday, I think it's supposed to be in the 60s.
Oh, that's suntan. I might be wearing a tank top.
No. Hey, please don't.
Backwards. Okay.
Really bring the 90s back. Really
cut right here, right, with the scissors.
Yes.
Laura, were you popular? Were you in the popular? I know, right? So, was it popular? That's what I'm going to say. Were you in the right age group? There it is.
There you go.
For you to wear 3 shirts when you went out.
3 shirts. So I'm trying to think. Not 3, but
like the layer, like the layer tank top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was that your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was I was like, no, I didn't really do that. But then you said tank tops, and I was like, yeah, that was called the
Yeah.
early 2000s. And
Okay.
like, this is still, it's still, you know, that was a really hard habit to break for the longest time, where I would wear a tank top under everything. I literally broke that habit last year. So I was doing it up until last year. And I still have friends that, you know, when we were in junior high and high school, when that trend started, and they still do it. They're like, what do you mean? You can't just put a t-shirt on your bare body. You need a tank top underneath that.
I just watched a TikTok that was, how do you know you're a kid of the 90s? Or tell me you're a kid of the 90s without telling me you're a kid of the 90s. And this girl was putting on her tank tops and pulling all three of them down and layering them.
Yep, that was it. Throw a little chunky belt on top of it, but the belt not through the loops of your pants.
Oh yeah. That was very Britney. That was very Britney.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I had my hair, listen, I had my hair like Vanilla Ice, like legit, like,
I mean, it was the
baby.
trends. We can't be held responsible for the stupid fashion trends that are foisted upon us.
We brought in the bowl cut, you know, when it was just all one length and put it in the middle. We were the Nirvana, okay?
Speaking of bowl cuts, I'm gonna post this on my Instagram today. This is a picture that I just found.
Oh, it's where it all started.
The bowl cut, yes. So I mean, that thankfully everybody knew, like, that's one thing that has not come back, is the bowl cut. Like, everybody universally recognizes that as terrible.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Or the perm. I had a perm. I had a perm in the back and feathered in the front.
Oh yeah. That was the first time I ever had short hair. Was my mom let me have a perm when I was like 8. And of course, I didn't take care of it because, you know, you have to do all the detangling and the brushing and the combing, and so it was just always like a rat's nest. So my mom forced me at like one of those Sam Goodies, like held me down, and they cut all my hair off, because that's the only way you can get rid of a perm.
Right. Yeah. I mean, now we just got to Aquanet it. Or I love the TikTok video where they're straightening their hair. Right. And then they turn around and their back is like just a big old mess.
Exactly.
I love TikTok. I can spend hours before I go to bed wasting my time for absolutely
I know.
nothing.
I saw a TikTok the other day that was like said something about, like, if I told you that I read it somewhere, it's a lie. I saw it on TikTok. If I said I heard it on a podcast, it's a lie. I saw it on TikTok.
It's so bad that I save mine like at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning so I could forward them to my friends the next day.
Oh yeah, so do I. Yep, my friend Tim and I do that. We build our own for you pages for each other.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all we got today. Unfortunately, Laura, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Thanks for joining us again today on Connecting Communities with Brian J. and Laura Lee. We'll see you back here next week. If you want to find us in the meantime, you can find Brian on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Toledo Talks, also on Twitter and Instagram.
Trying to see where you were.
Where are you? So that's you can find us all over the webs, all over the tubes, and we'll see you next week.
I love that your cat's going crazy right now with its toy. He's running.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.